Now that the UVs are practically done, we can start preparing the baking groups and baking our model in Marmoset. To prepare the baking groups, what we want to do is we want to, first of all, let's do a duplicate of our low poly and let's name everything properly. So we want to start off with, let's say this one is the link low. So Marmoset needs us to put an underscore low at the end so it knows it's a low poly. We're going to call this one knife low. We're going to call this one tape front low. It's very important that there's no underscore in front of the underscore low, so Marmoset doesn't get confused. So you only want to have one underscore and then low, and then afterwards you can do again what you want, but you don't want to have tape underscore front underscore low, for example. This would not work. And this one's going to be tape back low, for example. Now we want to duplicate the files that we need. So this will be our knife high for Marmoset. So let's call this one HR. Let's put both of them in a group, call them bake so we don't get confused. Okay, so we have our high poly for a knife already. We are still missing one of the links, the chain links. So let's go. That's this one. This one's gonna be link underscore high. Okay. Now the duct tape. So we're gonna have this duct tape. That's the front one. Tape underscore front high. So all that's missing is the rest of the tape basically. So we're gonna duplicate it and combine it and call it tape underscore back high. Okay. So those are base baking file basically. But now I wanna also export some other files that I will use to fix some things. So as we were talking about, we don't want this welding on our low poly. So we don't just need to rebake just the back part. We also need to rebake this part of the low poly. To do that, we just gonna hide this for now. We're just gonna take this piece and we're gonna call it link high. Oh no, it's on the knife, so it's gonna be knife high additional. You will see in Marmoset this will be in the same group as the knife, but we can just manually move it out for now. So we wanna bake this one new, and I think that we also wanna have a second version of is the knife, because this knife might get too pointy, or let me show you the difference. There might be too much difference basically. So what I like to do on knives is get a second version that's very tight, like this, where we can also use it as a second bake inside Photoshop to fix it. So this one's also gonna be knife underscore high 802. Okay, cool. Now that our groups are set up, we can just export them. Easiest way to export them is just select everything, export them as an FBX. The only thing you wanna tick is the triangulate one, nothing else, because that way the smooth mesh will be actually smoothed on export and everything will be triangled. So let's call this one bake and let's switch to Marmoset. Now inside Marmoset, we want to press on this baker group. We want to press on the quick loader on load and load the bake file. As you can see, it already set up our bake groups. Let's just switch the skylight to one that's more pleasing for us, like this one. And now let's just set the output file and press preview bake for now. So let's just call this one knife and let's press the P so we get a nice preview. We can, with the H, we can hide the high poly, so we just see the low poly. This preview material he uses, we can also edit the look of it. So let's use metalness and turn the metalness off for now. Pump the gloss up and maybe use a bit brighter color. And one thing you will see now is that some pieces like here will be overlapping. which is not ideal, right? These errors. So, and this is where our bake fixes will come in handy. So what we want to do is we want to move those two guys out of here for now. Can hide them and just bake it like this for now. And you will see we get this error here and we get this error here. What we want to check on all the groups for now is how big is the cage, and make it a size that is not like super insane, but it's not too small. So we want to make sure to cover the whole high poly basically. But we don't want it to be too big, because that will cause it to intersect with other things and also cause baking issues. So you want to find the right balance here. Okay. Let's just check all of those groups, as we don't have a lot anyway. So see, it looks good as well. And this one looks good as well. Okay, now that we're happy with the bake, with the cages, we actually want to press the bake button. We want to pump up the resolution to 4K. The rest should be fine, and let's bake. Now we want to switch over to Photoshop and take a look at our normal map. Looks like this, so pretty decent, I would say. Now we can see that, as we talked before, like the blade will have some issues and the backlink, and now we're gonna fix those. So back to Marmoset. Now we want to go into this knife group for both of those fixes. We want to remove the high poly, and we want to add those two as our high poly. We don't want to override the current normal map. So what we want to do is we call this one here in the output setting, we want to call this one underscore fix, for example. And we want to bake this one now. And we can also preview it. And as you can see, it only baked this part now, but the blade is nice and sharp. And here we are having the link without the welding. So now we want to open this map in Photoshop as well. And as you can see, there's not everything on there, and most of it looks wrong. So we just want to copy this mask, this map, put it in here, put a black mask on it, and now we want to mask out the areas that we need. So we need opacity 100, color white, of course, and let's start masking. So we want to mask out the blade here. We want to make sure not to touch other UV islands. We just want to mask out the blade basically, yeah, like this. We want to find the other side of the blade, which is here, and start masking this one out as well. Okay. And then we want to find the link. If we can't find it, there's always the option of going back to Maya, opening the UV editor, and taking a look where all of this is. So it's this piece here. So back to Photoshop. Should be this one exactly. Let's see. Yeah. So we got it here. And those guys. Okay. Okay, looking good. Now what we can try is saving this map, going back to Marmoset and loading this PSD and taking a look. Yeah, the knife looks way cleaner. And here we don't have the welding. So basically our normal map is done. The next step will be exporting our low poly again to Substance and also using our normal map, and then start texturing.